What's up, Mass family? This is Dwayne Spires, your summer camp and after school program expert with the Martial Arts Success Team. And I just want to let you know that I just got back from Miami, Florida. Lauren and I went to this awesome 4-day training on communication, sales, all kinds of amazing things that we can take our coaching business to the next level and learn new techniques and strategies to teach you so that when you interact and you're enrolling more kids and you're working with your staff, you have a much better experience. So one thing that I just wanted to acknowledge is all awesome entrepreneurs always continue learning. So it's important to always have that white belt mentality, right? So in the spirit of that, let's talk about leads. Let's talk about how to follow up with that. And I want to teach you guys some really cool strategies and tips that are behind the scenes, things that you can do right now. So as you're watching this video, make sure you turn off your cell phone, get something to take some notes with, and come to this training with an open mind, right? And my goal with this is so that by the time that we're done, you are energized, you're excited, you're enthusiastic about getting on the phone with those leads, and specifically how to break the ice. Because we've been getting a ton of questions about, hey, Dwayne and Lauren, how do we get people on the phone? Right now, they're just asking for prices. So we're going to go in depth on that and much more on this masterclass. So stay tuned. Here we go. Let's get started. All right. So first off, I want to talk about enrollment seasons. And, a lot of people, they know that summer campers typically enroll right before the summer, right? But there's actually a specific month-to-month pattern that we've noticed over the last several years, and I want to share that with you. So the first thing is, let's talk about the month of January. So in January, you will have people enroll. These are what we consider your action takers or your early adopters, right? These are parents who really want to take action. They want to save their child's spot. They're the type of parents, a lot of times like helicopter parents, where they want to guarantee that their child has a spot in an awesome summer camp, so they enroll right away. But then what happens is we see a decline in February. In February, you will still make enrollments, but you'll start to see that it slowly slows down just a little bit because all of your action takers are excited about their New Year's resolutions in January. So January is typically the spike, and it drops down in March. So here we are today, and we're looking at March, and some of you have been sending us messages, and you're like, we're getting leads, it's great, and it's becoming difficult to get them on the phone. So what we're noticing right now, guys, is something that is very important. If you look at the thermometers, we have two different regions in the United States, actually in North America for our Canadian friends. The South, where I'm in Florida right now, it's legit like 75 to 80 degrees out. It's already feeling like summer. So in the South, we have parents that are very eager to think about and to start enrolling for summer camp. So they're much more approachable. They're faster to get on the phone because their mindset is it already feels like summer. But the problem, though, with everybody that is living in the northern regions and all the way in Canada is that in some cases there's still snow on the ground right now. In fact, as we're watching this video, this training, this masterclass, it's like I just saw that there's supposed to be like 18 inches of snow that's going to hit the Northeast like today, right? So keep in mind that in March, you have people that are interested in summer camp, but they're kind of just kicking tires. They're going to be price shoppers. They're looking around. They're trying to find out prices. They're not necessarily super eager to jump on the phone. But the good news is that some of the strategies I'm going to share with you today will work to help them get on the phone with you. So we're going to talk about that. So what happens after March? We actually start to see a pretty awesome incline in response rate in April, and then it continues to grow in May, and then it really spikes at the end of May and early June. I mean, I remember last year, Lauren enrolled 44 full summer memberships on the Friday before summer camp started. Now, the reason why I share that with you is not to encourage you by any means to wait to the last minute. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you want to get your enrollments going as soon as possible, and you want to get your ads launched as soon as possible so you can get leads right now. But just always remember that parents like to wait to the last minute. Okay, so that's why if you look here, if you look at my mouse, you have a lot of people that will sign up in January, your early adopters. And then we're kind of in this season right now where we're in between the early adopters and the last minute parents. That's what I want to call these people here. So the best thing to do is utilize the strategies that I'm about to share with you. I want you guys to have a packed summer camp. It's going to be incredible. You're gonna start enrolling more kids than ever before. You're going to have amazing coaches. The kids are going to have fun. And then, of course, your revenue is going to go to the next level as well. So with that being said, let's talk about some of the mindset. Number one is you have to remember that parents do love to shop around, especially during March and early April. Secondly, parents are actually programmed to automatically ask about prices. Now here's why. When parents think of a martial arts class, they are interested in martial arts for their child. They have disposable income and they think it's an awesome idea. So when they call you, they're going to ask questions about benefits. They're going to ask more like logistical questions. What happens in the martial arts class? What are they going to learn? Tell me about your style or your system. But when people think about summer camps, they think about camps as a commodity, something that they have to have. They've never really framed that camp in their mind as something that does have benefits. So a lot of times parents are just like, hey, what are the prices? And the reason why they ask that question is because they don't know any other questions to ask. And this is why it's so important to be able to get them on the phone and, of course, in for a tour. All right, number 3. Like I said a moment ago, schools in the north have a later enrollment season because of the cold weather. I've had some amazing coaching calls over the last week or so, and one of the questions that I ask, I'm like, do you still have snow on the ground? And if the answer is yes, the unconscious mind of that parent in your area, if you're up north, they're still in like winter mode. I mean, they're literally shoveling snow off their driveway and worried about polar bears. Like, they're not thinking about summer camp, right? So when you're sitting there going, hey, let's jump on the phone to chat about summer camp, they're like, yeah, I'll get to that when it's not snowing. All right, number 4. This is an important one. And definitely, sit and think about this for a moment, right? If a parent doesn't join today, don't beat yourself up. Like, don't be the school owner or the salesperson that's like, oh, they didn't sign up today. I failed. I'm not good at sales. This sucks. Like, don't be that person. But instead, just know that they're just shopping around. That's their buying pattern. That's their psychology. So they're just going to go. They're going to make phone calls at your competitors. They're going to reach out to your competitors. And honestly, they're just going to talk to people who aren't that good on the phone. And guess what happens? They circle back around to you. So even when you do get people on the phone and you chat about summer camp, if they're not ready to make a buying decision, or if they're not ready to actually come in for a tour of your campus, no worries. Keep them on your email list. Keep sending them those promotional emails in our funnel, right? And they will come back to you. Now, this is important. Number 5, you have to remember that it takes about 7 to 10 times to actually get them on the phone for a strategy call. Now, notice I did not say sales call. I said strategy call. And the reason why that's important is because when you follow the math system, you're going to learn that the most important thing that you can do on the phone is establish rapport. You want to be friends with them. And in a moment, we're going to talk about some of the questions you can ask. And like always, a lot of this, if not all of this information, is in your sales system. So all of those modules for Summer Camp 2.0, that awesome success course that you have, study those, use them as a reference, and share them with your team members. Now, an important thing to remember, if you can get at least 4 out of 10 people to enroll on the phone, you're doing pretty well. When you have tours, though, it's going to be about 90% of those people that actually enroll. Our personal enrollment rate, when we were doing this actively, was like 99.9%. I mean, pretty much everybody that came in for a tour enrolled in our programs, and we want you to have the same success. So let's talk about strategies that work to break the ice. The first thing is when you get a lead from your website. Now, again, we're just talking about opt-ins, right? You want to respond to them as fast as possible. And you want to start with a text. You want to then call them if they don't respond, and then, of course, leave a voicemail. The psychology behind that is you can establish rapport, believe it or not, with a text message and with an email. It's possible, especially when you use emojis to convey your emotion, right? You want people to see you smiling. But it's even easier when you get them on the phone. They can hear your enthusiasm. They can feel the warmth in your tone, and it just connects them. It's like talking with a friend. So it's really important to do that. Now, one thing to remember is you don't want to give prices over text or email. So like I said a moment ago, parents are programmed to ask you how much it costs. Okay? Not a problem. We've actually got a really cool strategy I'm going to share with you in just a second, so hang tight. But you don't want to give the prices just over the phone. Like, don't fall into their trap and let them steer the wheel of the sales conversation. And then all of a sudden you're giving them all of your membership prices, because they're going to go, thank you, and then they're going to go on to the next person or the next competitor that you have. Now, number 3 is vital. Text messages are designed to only break the ice to determine a time to chat with that parent. That's it. And use those emojis. Okay, now here's an example. So let's say that you get an opt-in. Somebody's interested in your summer camp and you reply, hey, first name, it's Coach Dwayne from the XYZ Summer Camp. You have awesome timing because we are almost sold out. I'll check real quick to see if we have a spot open for you. What grade is your child in? Now, normally, they're simply going to write back and give you an example. So let's say 2nd grade, right? That's when you have the opportunity to create social proof and scarcity. You say, great, I'll check for you and I'll be right back, right? So you hang tight, maybe like 15, 20 seconds, and then you come back on and you say, great news. We have just a couple spots open for that age group. I'll give you a quick call. Do you want to chat now or after 5 p.m.? So we're only giving them 2 choices. And we're basically saying, hey, I'm going to call you. Do you want to chat now? Do you want to chat after 5? And then see what they respond. Now, as you get closer to, April, May, and June, you're going to start to see people that are much more responsive, because summer camp for them is becoming more and more of a priority because they know that they have a deadline. They have to find a camp. So chatting now is going to be pretty easy to do. And then you will have some parents that are busy. They're at work and they're going to say, yeah, call me after 5 or call me at 6:30 or call me at 7. So it's always important that either you or somebody on your team can call them after they're off of work. And that would be in a perfect world. You don't want to wait till the next day. You don't want to wait till, 2 days from now, right? It has to happen right now because as an action taker, it's important to get started right now. So what happens if they say how much? A lot of people have been posting on our Facebook Platinum and Gold groups like, everybody keeps asking me, what are the prices? How much? I've got something for you, my friends, right here. You say, great question. You will love this. You can save a spot right now for only $30. I'll call you real quick and give you the details. That's it. Mic drop. Let's talk about why this works. So this works because parents are programmed to ask what? How much does this cost? Cool. If they want to see a number, give them a number. It's only $30 to get started because that's your registration fee. And then you're telling them, I'll call you real quick and give you the details. Now, let's talk about this as like a chess game. It's at this moment that you stop texting them. I don't care what they respond. Now, if they respond, awesome, call me at 5 o'clock, then call them at 5. But if they come on board and they start asking you more questions like, no thanks, I just want to find out the weekly tuition, just ignore it and literally just call them. And that's it. You call, get them on the phone. And if they don't answer because they might be at work, leave them a voicemail. It's as simple as that. Like literally use your enthusiasm in your tone. Be like, hey, what's up? Let's imagine that the mom's name is Jennifer. Hey, what's up, Jennifer? This is Coach Dwayne with XYZ Summer Camp. I am so pumped to talk to you. I know you're probably busy right now. Shoot me a quick call back. Here's the number, XYZ number, and I look forward to chatting with you soon. Take care. And that's it. Don't respond back to texting anymore. Now, here's the plan. You're going to have some people that answer the phone. You get them on the phone and chat. You're going to have some people where they send you to voicemail. Leave an enthusiastic voicemail. And then later on, call them back and call them back again. You have to remember the text message is only to break the ice. Now, if a day goes by or if 2 days goes by and they haven't called you back, remember to follow up with them how many times? 7 to 10. I want you to write that down, 7 to 10 times. The next day I would roll in, give them a quick phone call. Hey, what's going on? It's Coach Dwayne again. I know that you're busy, but I'm here all day long. Shoot me a quick call. I would love to chat with you about our summer camp so I can fill you in on our membership and our tuition and all that great stuff. So it's okay to acknowledge that you're going to fill them in on the tuition rates because that's what they want. But in the mass sales system, you know that that's one of the last things that you talk about. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide here. So here's your goal. You have to establish rapport. That is the number one goal. And that's why it's so important to get the parent on the phone. It's not about texting back and forth. It's certainly not about sending them a bunch of emails with all these details. Now, will they get emails from your promotional funnel? Absolutely. But those emails also don't give all of the membership details because the goal is what? To get them on the phone, right? So when you do get them on the phone and your goal is to establish rapport, you want to ask them like realistically friendly, awesome questions about themselves. It's not about your summer camp at this point. It's not about all the benefits and your prices and your memberships and all that. Like that's the last thing you talk about. So think about it like this. If you do get but when you do get somebody on the phone and that person's name is Jennifer, it's like, hey, what's up, Jennifer? It's Coach Dwayne. It's so great to chat with you. All right, so you're interested in summer camp and little Sarah is going into second grade. Hey, tell me, what does she like to do for fun? What does Sarah like to do? And then take notes, right? Because it's all about them. It's about establishing rapport. And what you're going to notice is that when the parent starts talking about what their daughter or their son likes to do, you will literally hear a shift in their tone of voice. They're gonna have a smile. They're gonna be excited about talking about their kid, and it's at that moment where you start building rapport. And you want to continue to build rapport. So you ask follow-up questions. If Sarah likes to read books, you ask what books does she like to read. If Sarah likes to do martial arts, you ask what belt does she have. If Sarah likes to do soccer, how long has she been playing soccer? What school does she go to? What teacher does she have? These are all questions that you would ask somebody that you are genuinely interested in and who you care about. So what's the difference? That's how you approach these leads, right? It's all about creating what? Rapport. So once you establish rapport and the parent likes you, it's easy to get the enrollment. You lead into other questions like, what would this summer camp or how would this summer camp be perfect for you after you enroll? I want you to imagine you drop off your kids. They're so excited to come to our camp. And then you show up and you pick them up at the end of the day and you see the smiles on their faces. How will you know that this camp was the best decision for you to enroll in today? And then wait and listen and take notes. When the parent starts to give you all the reasons, all the exciting reasons why like they are going to love your camp, a lot of times they'll talk about, we want a camp that's fun, we want a camp that's safe, a camp that's active. Like those are the three, most common reasons that we get. Then you say, great, this is the perfect camp for you guys. You sound like a perfect fit. It's only $30 to get registered. And I have a quick question for you. Do you need the entire summer or do you only need a handful of weeks? And then a lot of times they say, we need the entire summer. And you're like, great. The entire summer's rates are this much per week. Like I said before, it's only $30 to get started. Let's go ahead and hold their spot right now. Would you like to get started or would you like to hold their spot? And they go, yeah, let's do it. And then you get their contact information, you get their credit card information. Next thing you know, you have an enrollment. Now, like we say in the sales system, if they're not ready to enroll right this moment, if they give you an excuse or a rebuttal or an objection, all you have to do is continue to build more rapport and educate them about your program. Keep it centered on them. If they want to talk about fitness, talk about fitness. If they want to talk about the outdoor sports, talk about the outdoor sports. If they want to talk about field trips, talk about field trips. Talk about whatever they're interested in. You don't have to give them a bunch of details. It's a short and simple conversation. And at the end of the day, if they're not ready to sign up now, no problem. Like, it's completely cool. Invite them in for a tour. It's that simple. And once you have them in for a tour, follow the tour system, and that's in our modules for your summer camp sales course, and crush it. Like, that's it. You're going to enroll them when they come to your facility. So if you have any questions, let us know. But remember, in March, when it's cold out, people aren't focusing on summer camp as much. But once the season changes, all of a sudden they come out of the woodwork. They're like, oh my gosh, we need summer camp. It's warm outside, especially up north. And, I think the other thing that's really important to remember is that your job is to get them on the phone. That's it. So one more time with this slide. If they ask you how much, you acknowledge that it's a great question. You will love this. You can save a spot right now for $30. I'll call you real quick and give you the details. and then stop the text messaging. You've already broken the ice. Now it's time to get them on the phone. All right, I hope you enjoyed this awesome masterclass and you got a ton out of it. So by the time you wrap up, you're going to be more excited and more confident to jump on these amazing strategy calls. And remember, you're not here to sell anything. So I want you to take a deep breath in, exhale, feel the stress lift off your chest, and go crush it and go make those enrollments happen and go change some more lives. So if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll talk to you soon.